Do you see the hundreds of agents raided an apartment complex?
First unto all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem Yahshua, Hashem Gakadash. I'm your Delon sales, person, teacher, great Muslim, I learn the truth, and I say shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm going to send this on this ICE raiding, which you had in the Northern Kingdom, ICE raided an apartment complex, pretty much dragging everybody out, from what I understand, both Northern and Southern Kingdom, whether they were children or adults. And this is what we've been telling you people, but you have a lot of assholes. As things progressively get worse, as Esau pushes more laws and policies that allow him to do these type of things, and or activate certain laws and policies that have been in reserve or dormant that allow him to do these things, you have a lot of Jake that really aren't taking heed to what's actually going on, and what are putting together the fact that there's men that's been telling y'all about this, and connecting that with what's actually going on. Example of that is there's this bitch that was pretty much, and this is videos put up this week, pretty much debunking the Hebrew Israelites and the fact of how debunking how men can have more than one woman, and she's pretty much against that, calling herself debunking that. Meanwhile, you have things like this, where National Guard military, who are not your friends, who hate niggas, who are the arm of the nigga who hates you, the arm of the Queen of England, are being sent to cities with Jake. And all these things were dormant, it's just now that they're being activated. But you have these things going on. Meanwhile, you have assholes that are trying to call themselves debunk the Hebrew Israelites. And this just goes to show you how, unfaithful our people are. How really everything that happens to our people is because our people were fucking assholes. And even now you can see it. They were always assholes. They're a bunch of assholes. They're rude and they're some assholes. Because they'll purposefully ignore prophecy of what's actually going on in the world to do what they would call debunking. But I'm just gonna go a little to the ICE raid, because this is why, me personally, when George Floyd died, I fucking collapsed. I was happy. And this is why we don't care about any of you niggas who end up getting killed or choked out in the middle of the street. Just watching a couple videos on some black women getting their fucking heads cracked open after they put their hands on a man. This is why we don't care about any of you fuckers. When y'all get killed or fucking laid out in the middle of the street or grabbed up out of the damn apartment complex, and your kid getting his fucking head bashed in, calling for you, but you got the damn butt of a gun fucking resting on the back of your skull. This is why we don't, we say good for you. Because all throughout history it's been like that, where the prophets would give the message and our people would either murder them, talk shit, or scoff, or all three. Jeremiah 31. The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words I have spoken unto thee in the book. For lo, days come, saith the Lord, that I bring in captivity my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land I give to their fathers. They shall possess it. These are words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. That saith the Lord, we have heard the voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. And going to that video, there was a chick, and that's that's the type of stuff that's going to be happening during Jacob's trouble. Because what in the middle? Because these are trained soldiers. Them niggas are probably hopped up on cocaine and drugs and adrenaline. And they were happy to go in there and grab them up some niggers, doing the grand work of their fathers. This is Esau's last stand, boy. The last Reich, the final battalion. And this nigga is about to go out with a bang and quite a bit of blood on his hands. And he knows it. He know he's about to get got, but he's about to get you more than he get got. The last Reich, the last kingdom. And this nigga he's about to go nuts. That hatred that's been bubbling up inside him that he had to repress, he no longer has to do that. I said, Lord, we have heard the voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. As you now see whether a man does travail with a child, wherefore does he every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turn to paleness, out of fear. Fear taking hold of you. So much to the point where you feel that, that dropping feeling in your stomach. Like something's gravely wrong. And men are going to be trembling like women. And you already know how women get when they get afraid. They freeze up like a fucking deer in the headlights. Because y'all ain't really as tough as y'all think y'all are. You ladies out there. But, y'all know how women get when they're afraid. Men are going to be just like that. Why? And that's an example why. Because they were dragging niggas out and there was nothing they could do. That type of shit is going to be happening. Where you had the last battalion over here fucking raiding your house. Or raiding your apartment complex at gunpoint in the middle of the night. Here you are, butt-ass naked with the fan on you. Next thing you know, you got some damn fucking ridged fucking baseball glove mitts wrapped around your fucking neck. You don't know what the hell, lights in your damn eyes. You don't know what the hell going on. The next thing you know, you off getting a fucking cold ass all white cell with Dr. fucking experiment over here wheeling in a fucking table full of knives and scalpels and shit. The mad doctor. It was funny, but that's what's going to be happening. The worst shit imaginable. Niggas getting look up what's that shit called? The Grape of Nanking. Niggas getting ripped apart. And it's going to be worse than that. But this type of shit you're going to be seeing more of. And he has the power to do this. And what? Nobody can do anything about it. You're not going to be able to run or hide. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, so-called white man, has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. In great wrath. And what happens when you're short on time? You rush. You're more forceful. You use less tactfulness. You try to force your way through. Ripping and running. And that's the so-called white man. That's what he's doing now. He's no longer taking his time to do things. He's forcing policies, whether they make sense to the common rebel or not. But y'all thought it was just and you want to know the crazy thing about this is that you have different instances of these things happening every day. For example, that was just one instance. There's going to be more, but that was just one instance, and that should have served as an example of maybe people should get their shit together. But what do you have people doing? You have people drinking on the Day of Atonement and being assholes and still call themselves prophets of the Lord. That's not how this is about to go down. And a lot of people, fortunately, because more space on the chariot, to be honest, a lot of people are going to have to learn the hard way, and they're going to have to die. And that's just the truth. And y'all think it may sound like a broken record, but that's just the truth. The vast majority of people on this earth, they love, they're gluttons for pain. They love learning lessons by pain. They love making mistakes and then, learning that lesson through pain instead of taking heed to the message, to a warning before they go through the pain. They love it. So, but that's not what you want to do with this. But apparently that's what they want to do. But this serves as another example of what's coming. And mind you, that was a raid in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Where was all those tough YNs that was talking shit? I haven't heard of any back and forth between Chicago, the army of the illiterate niggas, and the army of the United States of America. I haven't heard any back and forth. Where are those? What was all those tough guys doing? From what I saw and heard with that little piece, them niggas ran up in there smooth and got the shit done. You didn't have any kick, you didn't have any pushback or nothing. From what I saw and heard. All them niggas just, man, and really Jake is just full of hot air. But that's how it's gonna be. A scalding knife through butter. A knife fresh off a sword, fresh off the fire, fresh off the blacksmith's anvil through butter. Now, you're going to have some, you're going to have, Jake fighting back. It's going to be Edomites fighting back. Heathens fighting back. Sure. But that's a single instance of how powerless you actually are. Cause sure, there's a such thing as retaliation and fighting back, but also losing the fight. Because that's what's gonna happen. The majority of you people are gonna lose. All these tough guys going up against military, they may take a couple niggas out, but they're gonna end up surrounded with guns up their ass. But this is what we told you, and once again, a couple years ago, something like that would have literally been unimaginable. But here you are in that same situation. Ezekiel 9:4. The Lord said unto him, go through this midst of sea, through the midst of Jerusalem, send mark upon the foreheads of men, and sign and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, which are the hopeful elect. And to the others he said, my hearing, go ye after them throughout the city, smite thine eye, spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly, old and young, and there were children that were getting taken out too, but them soldiers did not give a fuck. Both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin my sanctuary, then begin the ancient sanctuary before the house. And all this is going to start with our people. And you see that going on now. And he said, slay, kill, destroy. It's going to get to a point to where niggas are going to start getting gunned down, get their heads cracked open, getting fucking choked out with that damn, with that metal wire around their neck, cut into their fucking Adam's apple and shit. Cutting through their neck and wrapped around their damn spine. through all that meat shit, slicing right through that shit and wraps around your fucking spine and bleeds you out like a damn pig. That's sort of descriptive, but that's the situation that our people currently find themselves in. And they think it's a joke until it's no longer a joke. But this is just another warning, because Jacob's trouble isn't officially here yet. You still have things going on, but You see the very, very beginning stages of it. You see what the so-called white man can actually do. This is a glimpse of what he can actually do, of what his laws allow him to do. And there's nothing that the people can do to stop him. So how much more when things are in full swing? When he actually locks down fucking cities in a mass scale. And he actually has fucking troops going up and down the streets, kicking down doors and dragging you the fuck out the house. Realistically speaking, you're all like, you have brothers say it all the time how we're literally behind enemy lines, which is in war the worst possible position you could be in because you're surrounded by enemies. And in real war and real fight and a real battle, um, that's not a good position to be in. You got niggas that watch TV and movies and shit, and they think they're gonna do some crazy shit, but in real life, with trained killers, that's not a good position to be in. But that's pretty much it. Hope that fine. Say all praises going down to you. How about Shema Shabbat Dash? The one says positive history. That's not wrong. She. Shalom to hopefully isn't Shashabal Great America.